Yeah.
But I don't know anyone that's in payment processing that is going on podcasts aggressively.
Yeah.
Sharing why it's important for you to have control over your payment processing.
Yeah.
And how it could actually benefit you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because right now, 90% of people default in Stripe. Stripe is payment processing. Like that word payment processing is Stripe.
Brendan is single. Okay. So all of you ladies out there that love the Lord, okay?
Comment wife below.
Comment wife below. You gotta get some people, bro.
Listen, comment wife below.
No, I love Tampa.
It's not a bad place to visit.
I was born in Tampa. My parents, both of them were born in Tampa. My grandparents were born in Tampa.
What, did they call you guys Tampanians or something?
You know, there's been a couple names. Tampanians, yeah.
Tampanian sounds like it makes sense.
And Tampa is the lightning capital of the world, basically.
That's why they're called the Tampa Lightning?
The Tampa Bay Lightning, yeah.
Thinking
about there was American culture.
Yeah, apple pie, baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Hot dog, baked beans.
Yeah. Who wants
4th
that
of
type
July.
of, that's not even culture.
Okay.
What's your culture? Hot dogs.
No.
I'm gonna come over this weekend.
So,
it's gonna be a cultural fest. What's going down? Hot dogs, baseball.
How do I monetize my podcast? And I pick one. You should pick one and do well with it.
You should pick a few.
And then you should be adding them as you go.
100%.
And layering it on.
Yeah. You see how Trump stole the Black Pride fist?
So first off, I don't think it's a Black Pride fist. I guess it's from the Olympics. The Olympics fist. Yeah.
But it was a black person.
But did he steal it? Or is that just like throughout thousands of years of history? All right, guys, welcome to Success on Repeat. Welcome everybody to Success on Repeat. I'm Ryan Cabrera. Thanks for being here with us today. I'm in the studio here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. And let me just tell you, I've got one of my personal friends and a favorite guest who, you know, this is your first time actually on the podcast, which the amount of time that he and I talk about podcasts, I'm surprised this is his first time here. But I've got Brendan Boyd. You can find him on Instagram at It's Brendan Boyd. Check him out. What's going on, Brendan?
Man, I'm excited to be here, bro.
Yeah.
We're in a town called Brandon. You know,
that's true.
I feel. I didn't
even think about that.
Yeah, I feel a little bit
at home
in alignment here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, people misspell and mispronounce my name all the time.
Right. Well, so it's not spelled the same as your name.
It's not. But if I go to Starbucks, I'm like, yo, my name's Brendan. They're spelling it like this.
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah,
100%. Or they spelling it Branden.
Oh,
they spell it all wrong all the time. You know?
Yeah, that's interesting. That is
no one spells Brendan right ever.
Yeah.
There was one person that spelled it right recently, and I was like, yo.
Because yours is Brendon.
See?
Yeah.
Wrong.
No.
See? Wrong.
I don't even know how to spell my friend's name.
No one knows how to spell Brendan.
So how do you spell it?
B-R-E. It's not how I spell it. It's how my name was given to me.
Okay.
Right?
Which is how you spell it.
Brendan.
D-A-N. Okay. Brandon. Brandon.
I mean, I
guess. Brendan.
Brendan. Yeah, Brendan. Yeah. My real name's Dan. My friends call me Bren for short.
That's not right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not.
I'm glad to have you here.
Dan don't fit me.
I'm excited to have you here. You know, we've been trying to get together for, it's been a minute.
But I mean, it's really my fault, bro. You got a tribe. So it's not like, it's easy for me to just come up.
Yeah.
But you got a plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
You got a wife,
kids.
You got some little U's.
I got some mini me's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some scheduling stuff.
We homeschool. You know,
that's what
I got a business.
You got a business. Yeah.
And my business isn't like on the fly business. You know, we've got an office with employees and stuff in and out of here all day, every day. Dealing with sales agents and stuff like that. So yeah, we got some stuff going on. I will say this though about my business. My business is a major blessing because it does provide me a lot of flexibility.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now you're admitting that you should have been down to Miami then.
Well, you also mentioned the other things that I have, and I don't want to say weighing me down because that's not the right term. The things lifting me up. You know what I mean?
No, makes sense.
I can't jump off my platform that's being lifted up.
Is definitely easy for me to come here. 100%.
Yeah.
And Tampa's not a bad place to visit.
No, I love Tampa.
It's not a bad place to visit at all.
I was born in Tampa.
Yeah.
My parents, both of them were born in Tampa. My grandparents were born in Tampa.
What, did they call you guys Tampanians or something?
You know, there's been a couple names.
Tampans?
Tampanians, yeah.
Tampanian sounds like it makes sense.
But there's some derogatory terms that people use that rhyme with feminine products that people use too.
Tampons?
Yeah, exactly.
They call y'all tampons?
Sometimes, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No,
that don't even seem like it makes sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Tampanian is
Tampanian sounds kind of nice.
Yeah. But so So Tampa, the word Tampa, the name of the city, is actually a misspelling of a Native American word for lightning. So Tampa with an N. Tampa is like a Native American. And this is, again, we were talking about Brandon history, how it used to, I know all this history about where I live, but this is the what has been said is the way we got the name Tampa, because it's one of those things where like nobody technically knows. But the word Tampa in the Native American language for the tribes that were around this area, which there was a lot. Because we're on the bay, and so there's a lot of Native American history that goes on here in Tampa. But there's just a misspelling of the name for lightning in that language.
Gotcha.
And Tampa is the lightning capital of the world, basically.
That's why they're called the Tampa Lightning?
The Tampa Bay Lightning, yeah.
But it's interesting because yesterday we went to that Tampapreneurs event.
Okay.
And it was downtown. I forget what hotel it was at. But I was shooting video and I was interviewing like two people. And I did see lightning pop. I was like, oh, it's about to rain. But it's just a threat. Like, that's just a signature of the city. It's just random lightning all the time.
Bro. So
when you see lightning in Tampa, it does not mean it's going to rain all the time.
Oh, no. No, well, it's raining somewhere. So this is another thing. When you live in a place that's like Tampa, where every day for a certain season of the year, you can count on it, like it's 3:00, it's going to rain, right? There's a certain season of the year where it's like probably a month or so of the year where it's 3:00. Why is it not raining? You're like, what's going on? But you can feel the rain in the air.
Yeah.
So you start to learn things like when the meteorologist tells you there's a 30% chance of rain, it's not that there's a 30% chance that it's going to rain. It means that 30% of the viewing area of that meteorologist is getting rained on.
Okay.
So that means it's so like you see lightning. And the reason you see lightning is because 4 miles away, it's raining over there.
Somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, it's raining.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, because I was like, oh, this might be dope for like the video. But I was like, oh, this is lightning for real.
Yeah, it's actually, you're like, maybe I'm gonna go inside.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was like, did I catch that? I was like, wow.
Dude, the other night, it was raining crazy, sideways up at the windows of the house, and then like crazy, like the lightning was super close because you see the flash and then boom comes right after it. Because when you live in Tampa, you start to learn, like, I don't know, do you know how to tell how far away lightning is?
No.
All right, so when you see the flash of lightning, you count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Once you hear the boom, you know that however many counts it was, that's how many miles away it was.
But is that actual?
I've never confirmed whether that's accurate or not, but I've heard that my whole life. And I've lived in Tampa, basically my whole life. So
that's a Tampa.
That's exactly.
That's a Tampa.
Exactly. It's a Tampa thing.
Yeah.
We are the lightning capital of the world, though, and I've heard it here my whole life, that you count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
I mean, lightning's kind of cool. I think it's very interesting that in the sky, the sky can make noise. It can flash light.
Yeah. I mean,
a rainbow can shine.
That's right. There have been a ton of rainbows this year.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
There's been a ton of rainbows this year. There's more rainbows this year than I think in it's been a long time since I've seen this many rainbows.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
Are rainbows here and we don't see them, or do they come out when the rain and the sun comes?
So scientifically, it's a prism effect, right? It's the rain and the sun shining through it, and then we see it if we're in an angle to where we would be able to see it.
But
that's my understanding.
So it's not always there.
No, I don't believe so. Well, okay. So light spectrums is an interesting concept in general, right? Because I even think I heard you say earlier talking about everything's frequencies or lights and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a visual light spectrum, and that visual light spectrum is basically what a rainbow is. It's like the whole light spectrum of visual light.
Yeah.
But when we see white light, when you shine it through a prism, it breaks it into the full light spectrum because that light is all of those colors almost like blended together in some way, shape, or form. And everything we're seeing is a blend of light frequencies together or whatever. And that you can go off on all kinds of rabbit trails with that. But so to your point, is it always there? Probably in some way, shape, or form. But the way we're seeing it,
we're seeing it.
It's only set up for us to see it with our eyes.
When certain things happen.
With certain conditions. There's something to that, bro. There's something spiritual, developmental.
No, I agree. What I was gonna say is, we don't spend a lot of time thinking about this because we're worried about other things, like paying a bill and like making sure the lights is on. And like make sure stomachs are fed.
Yes.
And full.
Yeah.
But if you really think about it, there's a lot of marvel. The things that are around, we could marvel over.
Oh,
like,
creation
is
amazing.
Like
bro.
we were just talking about like
God's creation. There's no limit to how much like your jaw can drop at stuff once you start like actually digging into it.
I was just sharing with you how I geek out on like big like big boats
Yo,
in
listen.
the water. And,
all right, so we're riding down the road
big
on our way here, and we're passing the Port of Tampa. And in the Port of Tampa, as you come down like on one of the highways, you can actually see like these big like tanker ships that are like parked, and like you're just driving right by where they're at. Like literally, it's like the front of their parking spot. And you should have seen him looking out the window like a little kid, like, dang, how do they float?
For real.
That thing is awesome.
Yo, I've never seen that. I've never seen an oil tanker.
Whatever that thing
craft.
was. Yeah. It was like, I don't know what that was.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
So what we have here is we have two companies, Murphy's Oil and Marathon, that have big hubs here in the Tampa port. And I know they bring in, I even know some guys that work for Murphy's Oil and bring in, when the ships come in, they unload the gasoline. It's already refined into these big tanks or whatever. Then the tanker trucks come and pick them up. That whole process is also fascinating, bro.
So what happens when like an oil tanker like sinks?
Well, they don't usually sink. It's very rare, I would say. Sometimes they have an oil spill.
Well, okay.
And you usually hear about that on the news. That happens like once a decade, probably. And there's some big cleanup or whatever.
How do you clean the ocean up from oil?
I don't even know, bro. YouTube. That's a whole, that's a whole other thing.
YouTube here.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of ill. I want to do that where you can just pull up stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of dope.
Well, so at some point, from a technology, we're adding stuff little by little to the studio.
Yeah.
We've got one of those like electronic whiteboards now where you can, pipe that in. And I just don't have it in the room right now. But then to your point, to have like a little laptop or something here to where I could pull stuff up and just throw it on the screen.
That'd be dope.
And stuff like that. We could do that, stuff like that. Cause I mean, you've been in a lot of podcast studios, right?
I've been to a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate our podcast studio right now?
I mean, you got everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you got 3 camera setup. You know what you could use some uplighting.
You're talking about like the like the big light or whatever?
No, uplighting would be something that is at the bottom and it brings light up. So that could be like an RGB light, so you can get some colors in here if you want.
Yeah.
Or it could cast some more shadows.
Yeah.
So other than that, you got 3 camera setup. You got 4 lights, which is cool.
Yeah.
You got the audio setup, got the Rodecaster, got an ATEM. I mean, you're completely dialed in.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't have to worry about like any 30-minute runoffs.
Right.
So that's cool. Nah, bro, this is good.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
The only thing, like I said, I would add is if you want to make it a little bit more moodier, you can add some uplighting.
I was thinking about, everybody tells me that I could add some plants.
Yeah, you can.
Everybody tells me you need some plants in here, and my wife tells me she hates this lamp.
Yeah.
She's like, that lamp is just too, and she says the shape of it's just
But that's
too,
what I'm saying. Like right here,
yeah,
you could put some uplighting.
Okay, or like a little table. I thought about putting a little table right here.
Yeah, for water or something.
Yeah.
You can move this out.
That was a subtle passive aggressive way saying I need to give him some water.
Where's the water?
Where's the water?
You can pass it, like you can take this out, and then you could put some uplighting. It could be like the rods.
Yeah.
You can have them at the bottom, or you can just get the rectangular uplights.
Yeah.
And then it'll bring light up, and then you wouldn't need this technically.
Yeah. That's true. And I've also thought about putting like a little sign here, like a success
like
on repeat time.
Oh no, you definitely should do that. 100%. That would look lit.
Yeah,
that'll change the whole.
Or even a TV there that I can change what's on it. You know,
I think the sign looks better.
Yeah, because I can always broadcast stuff on the screen.
Yeah, the sign. I think the sign, because the sign looks way more branded.
Yeah,
you got the wood back there, so it'll look clean.
Yeah. The wood looks good.
Mm-hmm.
It's very woodsy.
Yeah, that looks dope. I like it.
I did that myself.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it myself. I would have hired somebody.
Yeah.
Like I'm away, right? So at home, I had the handyman come through.
Okay.
I had him like add some more to the podcast wall. Like, cause right now in the frame, like we got, let's say like this, you got the whole side.
Yeah.
But then like, you see where the door is at.
Right.
It didn't go like from here. So depending on where we put the camera, you'll see like the panel wall, but then you might catch a little bit of like the non-panel wall. So we just kind of like finished half of it. So like no matter, you will get it. So he did that. He got that done. And then I just got a new bed frame. He put that together.
Oh, nice.
I don't be doing stuff no more.
Yeah, good for you, bro.
I'll just pay for it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm learning that.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I was on.
I used to feel accomplished doing stuff. I feel more accomplished paying for stuff.
I'm right there. I'm this close. I'm this close, bro. You know, it's one of those things where, like, in business, I understand that as a concept, but like with stuff like this, I don't know. Like, I've had so much struggle with handyman and contractors that it almost feels like it takes more time and energy for me to find somebody good to come and do stuff.
Makes sense.
Than to just go down to the Lowe's and like tack it up on the wall. You know, it's like it wasn't hard.
Honestly, like something like this, like I could see this could be therapeutic, or it could take you away from. You know what I'm saying?
It does. Yeah.
So I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Exactly 100%. Right.
Now this is fire.
Yeah.
I should have called you to do mine.
See, I don't do that because I would charge way too much. But yeah, $800 grand. You know,
I mean, I would have just got the flight.
It's like I didn't like doing it for myself.
Flight lunch podcast.
Yeah. Exactly right. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
I haven't been on your podcast. That's
you
true.
gotta come to Miami. I mean, well, not technically.
We could film one right here.
We could
totally film one right here.
Right in Brandon.
That's
what I'm saying.
Brendan and Brandon.
Well, that's the thing too. What I think is cool. If you got a show and it's mobile or your flex, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people I feel like take advantage of that. Like when I did my first pod, it was 100% mobile. Yeah.
Well, one of the benefits of having it be quasi mobile is these lights are really easy for me to take up. I got a little case for them. And then I have a backpack that I throw all the cameras in. And then what I don't take is I don't take these microphones.
You got the Bluetooth?
I did some Bluetooth microphones. And then I did 12 interviews at Offer Mastery Live, bro. So that's 12 episodes. And not for nothing, when you go to a place like Offer Mastery Live, a lot of these people we're talking fire people, you know, great guests with interesting stuff. And then you do 12 weeks worth of your podcast work if you're doing a one a week or whatever.
Well, that's a cheat code. Because what you did was, first of all, you basically leveraged an event, right, from a mastermind that you're a part of, which you should have, right?
Yeah.
But what not enough people do is they don't pay to go to an event,
right,
to then interview speakers, attendees, sponsors, whatever. Which if you just do that and you put a camera, they're gonna talk. You're gonna get it. So that's a way for you to get interviews from people that you probably wouldn't have got interviews from.
That's how I was able to get several of the folks that I got.
That's what I'm saying. They're there.
Because I was there.
You set up.
Yep. I was literally walking through a hallway and I saw Daniel Priestley sitting by himself, just like doing something. Yeah. And I walked up and said, hey, man, I love, what you've been talking about. I loved your book, Key Person of Influence. And I said, hey, this is probably a shot
in the dark,
right? A shot in the dark, right? I shot my shot. They say, shoot your shot, right? I went and I took my shot and I said, hey, luckily I have my wife with me, which I think brings me a little bit of credibility.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. And
where's my wife at? Where you at?
Listen, Brendan is single. Okay. So all of you ladies out there that love the Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comment wife below.
Comment wife below. Exactly. You're going to get some people, bro.
Listen, comment wife below.
Actually,
I'll put a video.
There's a possibility that if they comment wife, it's probably not the girl that you should go for.
I can put a case study together. So when they comment wife, they'll get a video. No?
You could totally do it.
I could do it.
You could do it. And then you could tell them what like your stipulations are.
Yeah.
All right. We just totally got distracted. So Daniel Priestley, I saw him in the hallway and I just said, hey, I shot my shot or whatever. That's a funny way to say it.
Yeah. You shot your shot.
I shot my shot. Yeah. And he was like, let's go. And I was like, sweet. Cause I was right around the corner,
Already set up.
I just flipped on the lights, hit record, gone. And
that's what I'm saying. So like,
and he was super humble. Right? Daniel Priestley is a good guy. Like, listen, I interviewed 12 people. Okay. And out of all the 12 people that I interviewed, he's probably the most famous, but was also probably the most humble and like the kindest.
Yeah.
And like just really, it's like there's a reason why he's doing well.
I met him at Podcast Summit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was there too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Super just nice guy. I mean, he's British, right? He's super cheery.
He got the accent.
He's got the accent, which maybe that's what it is. Maybe I just perceived his accent as like cooler than other people.
Yeah, I can see
because that's something.
Yeah, no. That makes a difference.
People with accents Well, people with different accents than our own, because we obviously assume that we don't have an accent.
But we got an accent to somebody.
You clearly have an accent.
Do I?
Oh, totally.
Do I?
Totally.
I have an accent.
So before I tell you, I want you to type in the chat what his accent is.
Yeah, please.
If you maybe know what his accent might be.
Yeah, let me know, because I'm not even sure.
His accent, I'm going to tell you, it's from Boston. Okay.
I sound like I'm from Boston?
You totally sound like you're from Boston. Absolutely.
You
Now, you
know-
don't sound like you're from like Cape Cod, right? You don't have that like park the cod in the yard.
So well, that's a different act. That's like the premium Boston accent. that's the
You got the basic.
that's the
the
signature
basic
one. I got the one that the majority of everyone in Massachusetts has.
Yeah.
We got a couple of nuances,
Sure.
right?
Nuances. Now he's trying to speak right. You hear me?
we got a few of those, but people that are from like Southie, from the Cape, from the North Shore, they're gonna talk more
See,
like.
I had a buddy that I had a guy that worked for me for a while, but he and I have stayed in touch, and his name's Eddie. And every once in a while, I'll shoot something out to him. If I saw him today, like I know that he and I would be like we never like were apart, right? He's that type of guy, and we just had so much fun together when we worked together. But he was from Worcester, which I thought was called Worcester, right?
Everyone thinks that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because it's how it's spelled, but it's Worcester. And listen, he would tell me
the P in Psalms is silent.
this is true. It's not psalms.
Exactly. go to Psalms, chapter 15, verse 12.
So not for nothing. So we homeschool the kids, right? And my son reads a lot. And so a lot of times he'll come to me and he'll say things and I'll have to figure out what he's saying because he'll be reading a word and pronouncing it the way it's spelled.
Yeah.
Like he came to me, we were talking about the Potomac River and he said Potomac.
Yeah.
And it's just like, to me, I'm like, huh? And like, it took me a second because it's like you're putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, Yeah.
That's funny. You were like, no, it's wrong. But Dad, this is what it says.
It does 100%, because he's wicked smart,
I mean, is he wicked? Is he wicked smart?
He's wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
Bro, which is how this other guy talked. This guy, Eddie, he's from Worcester. And he would always remind me about how hard people from Worcester, I mean, they're like, that's mess with people from Worcester.
I don't know about that.
But
I've
where were you from in the Boston area?
Mattapan.
I don't even see Mattapan.
Well, this is the thing. Most people that say they're from Boston, when you meet them outside of Boston, they're not from Boston.
Right.
They're from Worcester.
Right.
Marlborough, Marblehead, Wellesley, Chelsea.
Right.
Brockton, Reading.
Right.
Stoughton, Taunton. You know what I'm saying?
And so which one of those is like the hardest area? Like
actual Boston.
Actual Boston.
Actual Boston. which is Roxbury.
All of those are like the suburbs.
None of those is Boston, bro. I did not name Boston in none of those. Those have their own. Those are not Boston.
That's a good point, because if I'm ever away from this area and somebody asks me where I'm from, I tell them Tampa.
Yeah.
And I mean, I obviously was born in Tampa. I was born in Tampa.
Yeah. So you're really
but I've always lived
a
Tampanian. Yeah. I've always lived outside of Tampa in Brandon or Riverview or Valrico.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's kind of silly to even distinguish those places because it's like literally you cross over a street and like this is Valrico, this is Brandon, or cross over another street, this is Riverview, this is Brandon. You know what I mean? It's all, so we call it the kind of the greater Brandon area is what they'll call it, because it's the southeast Hillsborough County. And then we got another city, Plant City. That's the country folks.
It's called Plant City?
It's a city of Plant City, yes.
That's
Plant
crazy.
City.
Or that's not in.
And it's where the country folks and the farms are. So it's funny because it's called Plant.
And it's Plantation over there, boy, thing, which is a whole nother place.
So H.B. Plant was a railroad tycoon, right? Him and Flagler, and they basically built the railroads and stuff in Florida, and they're like the businessmen that made Florida, right? Mm. And
H.B. Plant?
His name is H.B. Plant. And Henry, right? Henry B. Plant, so H.B. Plant. Mm. And there's a Plant High School in Tampa, which is like the South Tampa High School where all the rich kids, that if they go to public school, that's where they go. If they're really rich, then they go to, Jesuit.
He has a museum too.
He does. The Plant Museum, that's right.
Touring the Henry B. Plant Museum.
Yep.
Yep. I gotta look this up. I like history.
Yeah. So then Plant City is named after him.
Yeah. And Plantation's not?
Plantation is not. Mm. That's plantation is plantation, like a
plant is a fire name.
But like a plantation is a plantation, like a farm.
Yeah.
See, but plantation has a negative connotation now because of slavery, right? So
But why now, as opposed to before?
well, because like a plantation, you think of a wealthy family that has farms. That's what a plantation is. And then when I think of a plantation, but when you think about like the connotation today with like the way movies have depicted it and stuff like, it's not always involved. It doesn't always have slavery.
It's not a good thing to say.
I don't think it's not a good thing. I don't think there's any issue with saying
I live on a plantation.
Yeah, so that you would.
I can't say that. But what if
you live in Plantation, the city's name is Plantation. So,
but I can't say I live on a plantation. Could you say that?
You might be able to get away with it. I don't think
you
I
can't say that. Who can say it?
I don't know.
Who can say it?
I'm not even gonna distinguish.
We should poll that. You want to poll it?
I mean, people go ahead and comment.
But you're not white though.
I mean, I've got a ginger beard, and everywhere I go.
Yeah, but you're not white. Though.
But I'm easily mistaken for white.
But you're not.
I mean, I am. I'm like a hodgepodge mixture of everything. When I did my DNA, the first time I did it was through like a University of Michigan thing, and there was this big like blue, though it's a big pink sea, right? Because they showed this graph or whatever, and everything was pink, different shades of pink, and that was all European stuff. And there was this one speck of dark blue in the middle of it. You know what dark blue was?
Black.
Sub-Saharan African.
I knew it.
And
talking about?
How did you know?
I can see it.
Oh, okay. I got that.
Yeah, you look African.
Like albino or something.
No, you could be Moroccan.
Okay, good to know. See, I also have the ginger beard because my mom's side has like English, Irish, Scottish, all that stuff in it. You know, and then my dad's side has got some of that stuff, but also like Cuban.
Do people know where you're from on the pod?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, I don't like come around and be like, hey, because I mean, like I'm American, bro. You know, that's
America's not a place, though.
Sure, it is.
No,
We're sitting in the United States of America.
Okay, let me. Rephrase.
I'm Floridian. If I have pride in anything, it's being Floridian.
Let me rephrase. America isn't a place where people are actually from.
I'm from America.
No, you're not.
Sure, I am. I was born here.
No, that's where you were born. That's not where your culture is. There's no culture in America.
See, it's funny that you say this because I feel like there was culture in America.
It was Native American.
Well, that's not what I'm
talking about. That was a culture.
I'm talking about there was American culture.
Yeah, apple pie, baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Hot dogs, baked beans.
Yeah, who wants
4th
that?
of July.
That's not even culture.
Okay.
What's your culture? Hot dogs.
No.
I'm gonna come over this weekend. It's gonna be a cultural fest. What's going down? Hot dogs, baseball, apple pie.
And this is the problem. People think that American culture is inferior to other cultures. Like it doesn't exist. And case in point, like Latin culture is rice and beans, you know, big old pig on the spit, you know, out at the barbecue. Like really, most of the cultures we think of, we'd separate them based on their food. Indian culture, super spicy, whatever. Yeah. What's black culture?
Bro, we got soul food.
Okay, but like what is soul food? Soul food's Southern food.
Okay, check this out.
Right? It's American South food.
No. This is how I swear.
No.
All right, this is how effing amazing that people of color are. Black people are.
Okay.
All right, because think about this. We were given all of the scraps. Food. All the soul food is crap.
It's definitely not good for you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But because it was the scraps.
Yeah.
So we've taken that and we made that a thing. Black people remix stuff all the time, bro. And like chitlins is not it, bro.
No, chitlin. Nobody should be eating
exactly.
Chitlins.
But we made it a thing.
Triple clean.
Oxtails.
Oxtails not bad.
That's not bad, but I'm saying we took what we were allowed to have and made it a thing.
Yeah. There's plenty of people. Like no, not for nothing. And this is the problem with American.
What do white people eat?
Everything. But this is the problem. I thought we said I'm not white.
I'm the
barometer of what white people.
See what happened was you internalized that. I was asking the question on the pod. I was asking the podcast question.
So like chitlins, for example.
White people eat food with no seasoning.
In Latin cultures, they call it tripe. Because tripe is chitlins. Tripe because
so you Spanish. You speak Spanish?
Sometimes.
Because you're not white.
That does just because you speak a language doesn't make you culturally anything.
Did you grow up with it?
My father does not speak Spanish because the Cubans that come from Cuba in the 50s or whatever, the culture for them was like, we're American now, whatever that means. Right? We've already established there is no American culture.
They wanted to get along.
We speak English.
They wanted to be.
They were like, we left the commies in Cuba and those people speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And we're here in America now, and those people speak English.
So they was like, do you feel like it was like it's a better than?
No. I mean, they thought it was,
Yeah.
but I don't. I think it's much more beneficial to speak multiple languages. I think speaking multiple languages helps you just by default understand other cultures.
Yeah, so I need to get my Spanish on.
Oh, you're in Miami, bro. You gotta definitely.
I need to make that a priority. At least 2 hours a month.
2 hours a month.
At least.
So where, I don't know where in Miami you live.
I live in Edgewater. Told you.
Okay.
Why am I telling y'all this on the pod? I live in Miami.
My point being, like, I don't know if you live in an area where like the grocery store down the road from you is a Latin grocery store, and that you could just go hang out in there for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I could
get your breakfast.
You know what?
And be like, hey, teach me the Spanish. You know,
that's a great idea for my Spanish brother.
Be like huevos. You know, huevos is eggs. You know.
So okay, so
and they'd be like, how do you want those cooked?
Yo tengo hambre.
Okay, that's I'm hungry. Yeah. Yo tengo hambre.
I got some words. I got some words.
If you walk into that place and you say yo tengo hambre, they're gonna hook you up.
They gonna.
As long as you're not picky.
Comida. Me.
Yo quiero comida.
Yo quiero comida.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? What's that? I'm hungry?
That's right. No, it's I want food. Yeah.
Yes, I want food.
Tango hambre is I have hunger.
I'm gonna walk up to women and say, quick. Say it again.
Yo tengo hambre. Oh, no, yo quiero comida.
Yo quiero comida.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I think they may interpret that a different way if you just walk up to a random woman and say that.
Hold on. I need the voice. I need the voice joint so I can say it. Yo quiero comida.
Yeah.
All right. Yo quiero comida. I got it. I'm good.
I can
study now.
You got it.
Yeah, I need to do 2 hours a month minimum.
You know, Duolingo is a good little app you can do on your phone.
Or maybe an hour a week. That's probably realistic.
My kids have been doing Spanish and Hebrew on Duolingo.
That's dope.
It is cool.
Spanish, Hebrew, and English.
Well, they already speak English.
Well, it's 3 languages.
That is 3 languages. That's right. I mean, they're not fluent in anything but English at the moment, but I mean, they're working it. They're working it.
Yeah, they're at the point where they can get it for sure.
See, the benefit you have is being in Miami. There is a ton of people where you could go and immerse yourself in Spanish language.
Well, the plan is to learn for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want to learn. I feel like the more Spanish people I have around me, men and women, obviously more women that speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I should pick up something.
You should. See,
I'm tasking them to teach me.
See, here's the issue. The issue is if you don't go to places where like they really only speak Spanish, then the default for being able to communicate efficiently is to switch to whatever language you're good at.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So like my wife speaks Spanish. Her mom speaks Spanish. And they're both fluent, but my wife's first language is English because she grew up in Tampa, right? She grew up here. So what ends up happening is in between the two of us, our first language together is English. So it takes work to want to speak in Spanish together. You know what I'm saying? And so that adds a layer of frustration to the day. That's, you know, if you're not like both being very intentional about it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so we usually only speak Spanish to each other. And because I'm not super great at Spanish, but to like if we need to say something in front of the kids that we don't want the kids to know what we're saying.
You say it in Spanish?
Correct. But now the kids have gotten good enough to where like if there's key words in it, like
they're gonna get it.
Like imagine like okay, when you have children, maybe you want to consider doing something, but like you don't want the kids to know you're considering it until you've decided whether you're going to do it or not.
So we should speak to them in Pig Latin.
Something other than, you know, my point being that like you speak to your spouse.
Enoch. You know what I'm saying? What's
Jumbo.
Star Wars.
Yeah. Something. Bush language.
That's funny.
God, I guess so. You know what I mean? Just like the rabbit trails, you know? But like, you know, you want to say something in front of them, but you don't want them to know you're considering it. Like if you want to, hey, we're going to go thinking about going to Disney World, you know? So you got to say something in Spanish, but like you can't put in keywords that sound enough like English or sound like you can't say like, you know, hey baby, you want to go to Disney? Like if you hear Disney in there or like, hey, you want to get some ice cream? Like now they know the word for ice cream is helado. So if they hear helado in
I need that.
Our sentence.
I be wanting ice cream all the time. I have some helado. Helado?
Helado.
I have some helado earlier.
Yeah. So it's spelled with an H, but H is silent in Spanish.
Helado is ice cream.
Yes. That's right. Helado is ice cream.
See, bro, you teaching me a lot right now. You didn't tell me this was a bilingual podcast.
Bro, we haven't even gotten into like business stuff. You know what I
Really?
mean? We're just,
Okay.
we kind of have.
We
I guess.
vibing.
Yeah, we are, bro.
Yeah, we
It's
vibing,
good.
bro.
It's good. It's good. Yeah. Speaking of business, I mean, like, what do you even do, bro? I see you on social media. You're like just always talking to people, always having a great time. And then like, but like, I know you're rolling in all this money, and I'm like, how is this happening?
know
This
I'm
guy
rolling
just,
in all
this
this
guy's
money.
just out there, just I'm like on
Listen,
my social media, just says entertaining stuff, and like now he's a bajillionaire.
Listen, if you want to be my wife, comment the word wife below. Take an application.
Listen, hang on. Before we get there, I'm his agent. Okay.
Okay.
So the applications will be coming through me.
He's gonna go. He's gonna.
All right.
Him.
So we're looking basic trad wife. Okay. Cook, clean, respect. All right.
I'm with that.
If you can't do those things, then go ahead and don't bother applying.
Stormy calls out a Chris. I think she says you Chris. Damn, I don't remember that. I don't remember the acronyms.
I don't know.
She dating a Chris. We gotta get back to it. But
Okay.
basically what
More important than those three is that she loves the Lord, right?
Of course, yeah.
She serves. She's
So
serving
she
God.
loves the Lord. She loves herself, and then she loves me.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm with that.
Yeah.
So comment wife below.
Yeah. Comment wife below.
Comment wife below.
Killing me, bro.
So yeah. So what do I do? So that question is an interesting question. And it's not interesting because of what I actually do. I think it's interesting because a lot of people define what they do as like their identity.
Right. This is true.
And it's not my identity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I help people in a couple of different ways. I help people if you want to get more exposure, I will help you get on platforms to get more exposure. And
so what is the benefit of exposure though? Like why would I
Okay,
I
instance,
own a
alright.
payment processing firm and I help other people start their own processing firms.
Yeah.
How would exposure help somebody like me?
You should. I mean, I should help you because right now, I don't know no one else. Like I know some payment processing people.
Yeah.
But I don't know anyone that's in payment processing that is going on podcasts aggressively.
Yeah.
Sharing why it's important for you to have control over your payment processing.
Yeah.
And how it could actually benefit you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because right now, 90% of people default into Stripe.
Correct.
Stripe is payment processing. Stripe is like that word payment processing is Stripe.
Well, and not for nothing.
They be like, you got Stripe? It's kind of like, it's like a Q-tip.
Well, recently Stripe came out and changed some of their guidelines.
Recently, it's aggressive.
And they're canceling a bunch of like online entrepreneurs and stuff like that.
Yeah, they cancel everything.
They're just getting rid of it. And it is what it is. We have a home.
But people don't even know where to go.
If you are an entrepreneur,
Thank you.
and you are working on building your business online and you need a home to put your payments so that goes directly to your bank account and that you don't have to worry about somebody just holding your money and sending you an email saying, hey, in 45 days, we'll have a conversation with you about this. See us in 45 days, then you need to be calling Champion Payments. We can help you.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my little commercial ended.
So or you could say like, yo, are you tired of your money getting held up?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
right.
hook.
Hey, are you tired of your money getting held up by Stripe? Hey, Stripe got you down? Call Champion Payments.
Bro, that's it. That's your marketing campaign. That's the messaging.
Done.
But basically, yeah. If you got a product or a service and you got customers or you want more people to know you want more customers, you need to get out there. You need to get more exposure, meaning you need to go on more platforms so you can be discovered. And then what I realize is a lot of people are not taking the next step. So for instance, let's say I get you on a pod or someone comes on your pod.
And when people say pod, they mean podcast. Right?
Podcast, yeah.
Okay.
They'll come on and then they'll be hands off. Like the podcast is supposed to do everything for me.
Oh, right.
When
give me that footage, bro. I'm going to cut it up. I'll even send you what I made,
Exactly. But so some podcasts will give you lift, but even that lift is going to be fleeting. So what you need to do is you need to take your content, take your assets, you need to start redistributing it through your own platforms.
Yeah.
So Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, X, email, text message. And you can even take it a step further because, when you post this, the content, especially the verticals, if any of those actually hit and do well, you want to then take that and repost that on shout out pages, which are basically they're like news feeds inside of Instagram or news feeds inside of TikTok.
This is like generic pages be like business entrepreneur life.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because if let's say a clip on your page did 20K, 30K, 40K, or whatever.
Yeah.
15K.
I ain't got nothing like that.
Okay, 10K, whatever, right? 5K, whatever. if whatever did well on your own page,
Yeah.
it will perform well on a shout out.
Sure.
That's in line with the same type of people that may be following you.
Got it.
Because your audience saw it and they was like, oh, I'm rocking with this one. So why would a 6-figure audience or 7-figure audience or multiple 6-figure, 7-figure audiences not rock with that? It's already, it's like your page is an AP test. So what happens is
okay, that's
people go on these pods, they won't do nothing with the content.
Right.
At all. So that's why what we do is a little bit different. Because we can do it. We can do that for you.
Okay, so then you produce this exposure. I think it's important it's very important for business owners, for anybody looking to grow a business to understand two things. Number one, we are in an age where if you are not getting the exposure, then your customers that you want are going to somebody else that has exposure.
It's always been like that. I think just now we have more control over it. We had to go places before.
Yeah.
You had to gatekeep or it was way more expensive. If you want to get on TV, you had to spend a bag.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to get in the newspaper,
hire a PR firm.
You had to hire a PR firm. If you wanted to get in the newspaper, you had to spend a bag. If you want to get on TV, it was a lot of red tape.
Yeah.
But now it's way more open. And you can even connect with smaller creators that have platforms. Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways that someone can go get exposure.
Well, and what's happening is we've A/B tested, on a mass data scale, that it's not the people with the best product or service that are winning.
It's not.
It's the people with the most exposure.
It's the loudest people.
Correct.
And I don't mean loudest like they're yelling. I mean it's loudest like notice them the most. Yeah, they get the most exposure.
Right.
The loudest person in your industry. You could come on with a product that's, let's say it's inferior, or maybe it's not even as good as a competition, but if you literally have, or you invest in marketing, you invest in getting to the right places, you're going to outsell your competition because you're going to be synonymous in that category as a king or queen because you're everywhere.
Right. Just the exposure.
Just to share exposure. Yeah. And that's why there's a strategy that I call the 5-2-W. It's like if you get on one podcast a week for 52 weeks, that's 52 podcasts in a year. Yep. Most people won't even do that. That's 30 to 45 minutes a week that you can dedicate to investing in your business. You have all this content that's edifying you because it's all these multiple platforms. So then when someone Googles you, your digital footprint increases extremely. They're like, Dane was on this show, Ryan was on this show, Champion was on, wow, okay, cool. I got to work with him because he's everywhere. Yeah. Or like all these other platforms is edifying him. He got to be the real thing.
Yeah. Yes. And that just adds credibility. I'll tell you this, for me personally, at this point when we're recording this, the YouTube channels doesn't have a ton of followers. The Instagram's not a lot, right? I mean, I say I'm just getting started, but it's been like 6 months, almost a year. You know what I'm saying? Like it could go a little faster in my personal opinion. But what's interesting is that I'm getting these high quality leads coming in to us,
which is good,
especially on the side of guys that want to be agents and get into this business, where it used to be that our process for finding agents for our company to sell our products and services, because we have a great opportunity for people to make money in. Yeah. But again, like you said, if you don't have the exposure, then nobody knows about it, so it doesn't matter.
No one knows Champion
right
now.
So
at the moment,
right. So what's happening though is YouTube and the algorithm has gotten so much better at dishing up that niche content that we are putting out to the correct audience. Like it takes time, but it's getting to those people. So then instead of me putting out job ads and people applying to our job and then me telling them about how great our business opportunity is and how the 1099 commission only structure is going to be great, because people that are applying for jobs aren't looking for 1099 opportunities.
Yeah, you know what? Not to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
But I want to hold this thought. Just say podcast processing.
Okay. Podcast processing. Okay. Podcast processing.
We'll come back to it.
So put out job ads. These people apply. They're looking for jobs. So then I'm paying to train them and get them up and running, and I'm having to filter through all of these people to try to figure out how to. And then once they realize it's a 1099 commission only sales job, right? Because that's how they see it, a 1099 commission only. They don't see it as a business opportunity that could change their life. They see it as this is commission only. These guys, they're not going to pay me a salary, which really salary is just handcuffs, at the end of the day.
People like to be handcuffed though.
Right.
They do.
Yeah, they do. So even some of these guys that are making good money in those salary jobs, it's like golden handcuffs, right? Those guys have the talent to work for themselves and make a bajillion dollars.
Yeah.
But because, they'll settle for 150K because, well, I mean, hey, it pays the bills and they got a little bit to spend, and, the people in their neighborhood, he's, doing well, you know what I mean? Whatever, you get the idea. So you go from putting out these job ads and basically begging people to come work to where you're putting out this content, and now people are contacting me. And when I call them, they're like calling me sir. They're thanking me for my time. They're like, I'm getting this level of like respect that I've never thought, before when I was dealing with these other people. It's a different, it's a whole different process. And they went down the deep dive on the content that I do have.
Of course. So that's why you got to produce more.
Exactly. That's what we're doing, bro.
Yeah.
That's why. I mean, we're literally sitting here doing that. That's the strategy. Well, and what else is interesting is I've figured out now that our message, like I've been doing some of it, and I've been doing the podcast. Everything about credit card processing is cool to me, but it's not cool to everybody else. But the people that it is cool to, they're like ready to go.
So let me ask you this. With the offer you have on two sides. So let's say as a vendor partner, right? If I get this payment processor and I use this payment processor, am I able to share in that percentage that is processed?
Oh, this is a great question. So most guys come to us and they fall into one of two categories. The two categories are referral partner or agent. All right. And an agent is somebody that says like, credit card processing is my jam. This is what I want to do. I'm going to go and sell it. I'm going to learn all the ins and outs of it. I'm going to learn the back end paperwork and how to set people up and what the right solution is for all these different industries and all that. Right. The referral partner are the guys like people like you that do podcasting and deal with online entrepreneurs all the time. Yeah. And you have the ability to then be an affiliate basically for us, where you're just teeing them up and then we're knocking them out of the park, making you look good, right? So that's the referral partner side. Those are kind of the two categories that people fall into as far as bringing in business and then making money. So we do what's called a revenue share, where we pay a residual commission to the people that bring in business for us. And we're like happy to, like, I'm tickled. Like the bigger checks I'm writing, I'm like, well, guess what? That's bigger checks that we're also keeping at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's one of those few business relationships where we're not at odds with each other. Yeah. Like we're truly in a symbiotic relationship where the more you make, the more I make, we're both happy skipping to the bank together, Yeah. Exactly. That's right. Yeah. That's right. But it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, we all like getting direct deposits, Yeah. It's nice to wake up in the morning, check the bank account, and see there's some money in there. And, on the referral partner side, guys that are doing the e-commerce consulting and setting up e-com stores for them. I mean, these guys are setting these people up on Stripe all day long.
No, 100%. And Stripe ain't it.
Or they're using the Shopify Pay.
Yeah, Shop Pay.
Shop Pay, whatever it is. And those systems, they're not getting commission off of that. Well, guess what? If they were to just start building us in as part of their system when they set these up, hey, you need to fill out this application. Boom. Now they're getting a commission off of that.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this.
Did you already get to podcast processing? Am I supposed to remind you that yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we're going to keep that down the curve.
So, how are people getting that message?
That's what we're working on. That's the whole social media. I'll tell you what, this dialing in that messaging to understand, because like for me, I feel like if I put that out, like how much I want to add value to people. And it is something I've been having to wrap my brain around on content that like that actually does add value to people. Like the thing that gets value for me, I'm thinking, oh, well, that gets value for me, so it can't add value to somebody else.
That's a block.
It is absolutely a block. It is absolutely a block. And so more and more I'm realizing that like, wow, like I've got this opportunity for all these people out there. And yes, it benefits me as well. But that's how like good win-win situations work in life.
Okay, so this is how podcast processing comes
here we
right
go.
now, right? So the other thing that I do is I teach podcasters how to monetize without brand deals, sponsorships, or having a large audience.
Okay.
I got a lot of cool ways that they can make money.
Nice.
Fast.
Yeah.
So
I have a podcast, bro. Teach me the ways.
I mean, what you trying to do? Right. The other thing is with your processor, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of podcasters don't know how to make money.
Right.
So I have a bunch of different ways. I would add that in as a way that they can learn how to make money and monetize.
Yeah, just be an affiliate for us.
Excuse me, be an affiliate for you guys, right? And
join the winning team, bro. Champion Payments.
And then use their podcast as leverage to promote.
Right.
Head up, guys. Welcome to another episode of the XYZ podcast. We got Ryan.
Yes.
He's going to talk to us all about what he got going on and his family. But before we get into that, I want to let you guys know out there, if you got a small business, or maybe you got a medium-sized business, heck, maybe you got a large business and you want to share in some of those profits. Maybe you want more control of your processing. I need you right now to head over to, what's the website?
ChampionPayments.com.
ChampionPayments.com. Get set up and have more control of where your money's flowing. Now back to the part. Ryan, what's going on? Right, so now they have that live read, or they have that commercial, and every pod episode can promote that.
What do you do this professionally or something?
A little bit, just a little bit with a little bit,
just a little bit with a little bit,
just a little bit with a little bit. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I can add that into my program,
100%.
Right? As, hey guys, okay, cool. We talked about the foundational 4. Here's a bunch of other cool ways. You don't need to go get all 25 plus ways to monetize.
Yeah.
Find 2 or 3 that you like.
Right.
Rock with them.
Right.
But here's another cool option where you can sign up as an affiliate partner. You can create commercials about payment processing, just like payroll. They need them.
That's exactly right.
Right. And then you can use each episode to promote that, whether you do live read or you do a commercial insert, and then let those episodes do your thing.
That's perfect.
You know what I'm saying? And if you want to take it a step further, you would say, hey, okay, cool. I'm down with being an affiliate partner, but how about you pay me $500 a month? I'll wear a t-shirt while I'm doing an episode.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now we're talking about, how do I monetize the pod? Well, you get $500 a month for just wearing a shirt.
Yep.
You're armed with multiple ways to make money now, right? Because we talking about digital products. Well, I talk about digital products. I talk about paid communities. Now we're talking about a VIP offer. Now we're talking about an affiliate partner, right? Yeah. I just recently got my cage code with government contracting. So now I'm going to teach podcasters how to monetize a podcast by being a government contractor.
Say what?
Which will lock them into a 6-figure salary or 7-figure salary off the rip.
Yeah.
In media.
Right.
Bro, I got the gems. I'm trying to save y'all. Right? Yeah. Because y'all think that
set the people free.
Y'all think that
set them free, man.
You have to make money on YouTube.
Right.
And that's not true. You can make money with podcasting on YouTube. It's just going to take a little longer.
Well,
that's it.
And what's crazy is how many ways there is to make money. And one of the things that has been just impressed upon me, like there's things that you hear that certain people will say, like Myron Golden will say something, right? And I'll be like, oh yeah, absolutely. I'll even take a note on it. But then it's not till like a year later when I'm like, yes. And then like you start to like really like believe it and like implement it. One of those things is that poor people, he says, this is his words, right? Poor people are either or. Rich people are yes and.
Yeah. It's
right?
True.
And or both and.
No, it's true.
Both and. It's true. So it's not how do I monetize my podcast and I pick one.
Yeah.
Right? It's you should pick one and do well with it.
You should pick a few.
And then you should be adding them as you go.
100%.
And layering it on.
Yeah, that's why I love to start with what I call the foundational 4.
Yeah.
Because if you already have podcast episodes, we can repurpose those, make those digital products.
Right.
Now you can sell the gems or the meaty parts of the pod that someone may not have gone through.
Right.
Or maybe someone just discovering you. And they're like, oh yeah, I want to skim through that.
You know, it's funny. One of the things, so there's a video that we have. Look, again, where the number of views that I'm getting right now are not crazy, which I'm thankful for because I'm getting probably enough leads right now from some of these videos to where like I'd have to figure out a system to handle more, you know, because some of these guys that I got to talk to, like I like talking to them right now. You got a CRM? Yeah, no, I got high level.
Okay, so you need a setter, probably.
Maybe that, or I need a.
You got an application?
Yeah. But we got
ready to go.
Yeah, that's probably what we should have. Is what you just mentioned. That way I could scale and then like know which ones do I need to call first.
Yeah, like a mini app.
Yeah. A qualifier, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but what's happening is a lot of these guys I'm talking to, what blows my mind is that I'm talking to them and they don't realize that I have an agent program that they could sell credit card processing with us, because all of them have watched this one video that's the how to set up a credit card processing company or how to start a credit card. I don't even remember what the exact title is. And they're watching it and I'm giving them the steps. And one of the steps is pick a vendor. And I'm pretty sure that in the video I explained that we do that we could be that vendor.
Yeah.
But like in it, I'm not necessarily, I don't know. I don't know how they got to the point where like they are not realizing that we're that vendor. You know what I'm saying?
You probably need to make another video.
I do.
And be more direct.
I need to make another video, or I need to find a way to like throw a commercial in that same video. That's another thing. Like I see people break, there's stuff I don't even know that I don't know. Like how people break stuff up into chapters on YouTube.
I would do more content. Like just make another video.
Yeah.
Because more is on YouTube, more is more.
Yeah.
You're gonna get rewarded for the video. But
Yep.
You're gonna get rewarded for the volume of videos.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then you could literally redo the same video.
Right.
Just make it newer, fresher.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Put XYZ how to 2024. XYZ how to 2025.
Yeah. That's a good point.
XYZ how you do winter edition.
Winter
You know what I'm saying?
edition.
Listen, it don't matter, bro.
The winter edition.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
You know, lightning edition. You feel me?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Lightning edition.
Yeah, the lightning edition, and just have some lightning on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to tell you.
That's too funny.
Yeah, bro.
You know, I don't. That's proof. What you just did right there. One of the things I've been noticing about people that I'll coach, right? I'll have people that I'll coach, and the excuses that they'll give me are always really bad. They're always bad.
It's always wrapped around fear.
It is always one excuse. The only real excuse is internal identity crisis.
Yeah.
Is what it.
You
what
know
it
how you
boils
get over
down.
that?
And I even have it, right? So it's not like I'm.
Yeah, no.
When I
it's true.
preach it, I'm preaching to the choir, right? We all deal with it in some way, shape,
On
or
some
form.
level, yeah.
And that's what on some level, because we deal with it at the level we're at. Because no matter how big you've gotten in whatever platform you're dealing in, there's another level, right? There's always another level. So your identity is where you're at, right? You see yourself in that place, or you might even see yourself lower than
I
you
seen
are.
myself in a Lambo yesterday.
Or
And I know I said this before, but there was something different about yesterday's Lambo. It was something different about yesterday's Lambo.
I don't even know what that means.
I got Ryan choking up right
I'm
now.
so lost. I don't even understand.
All right, so okay. Vision board.
Yeah.
Do you have one
My wife and I have one. Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It is. And actually, you know, it's funny. She made a vision board and then I hijacked it and I put on the top of it one vision. Like this one vision thing.
That's some leadership.
Yeah.
That's leadership right there.
And then I added some things to it that I knew were missing.
That's
right?
leadership.
That I knew she would agree with. Like I already knew, like, look, this needs to be there. This needs to be there, you know?
That's leadership. I was going to say leadership. But I know we don't swear on the pod.
Yeah. But we don't swear on the pod because we believe in James, the book of James, where it talks about, you know, bridling the tongue.
What's bridling means?
Means that you don't have, so you bridle a horse, right? You get the reins.
Okay,
do you have control of your tongue or do you not, right?
Yeah, but I like
do you have a command of the English language to the point where you're not lazy with language?
Yeah. Yes and no. I feel like it could be used for dramatic effects.
It can.
It's like acting, bro.
It can, but if you use some like fancy word that somebody don't know, then they got to go Google it. I think that's way better than just like dropping an F-bomb.
I mean,
I will tell you this.
Possibly.
Listen.
Well, what they're like.
I have said this, and then I have heard other entrepreneurs that I respect.
Myron
say
says it all
this.
the time.
Myron does say it.
Yeah.
But I've been saying this even longer than before I heard it from Myron.
What he said, yeah.
And that is that nobody will ever have a problem if you don't curse.
That's a fact.
Okay. But there will be a measure of people that will have a problem if you cuss. I will tell you this. There are people that I was like ready to buy their program. And then like all of a sudden I got something.
You got some MFs.
And it wasn't, and it's not always the MFs, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I will concede that using cuss words is not always cursing. Like you're not cursing somebody. I understand that
Drama.
Yeah, right. That you're using
entertainment,
it for, like you said, dramatic effect.
Inflection.
Like a perfect example of this is Tony Robbins.
Yo, Tony Robbins is going in.
Tony Robbins be dropping some F-bombs.
Yo, he be going in. He be like,
yeah, no, I know. I know he does.
Yeah, and
let me tell you,
I'm not your guru. He was going crazy.
I held Tony like when I say, so my dad was Tony Robbins' bodyguard when I was a little kid. And like slept in a bunch of hotel rooms with him. I mean, like the whole, like literally was his personal bodyguard. And this is back when he was like on late night TV doing infomercials and all that, like right when he was getting big. And when I saw that documentary, I had never heard him curse. And I'd never actually been to any of his seminars.
That's kind of jarring and shocking if you never heard him curse.
But it to me, it was like a fall from grace.
Yeah.
And look, I still have a lot of respect for him.
Deflated balloon.
Because I do conceptually understand using it as a dramatic effect or whatever. Or like in Tony's case, he's using it to like pattern interrupt somebody.
Yeah.
And it was a pattern interrupt at the time he was using it. That documentary came out years ago.
Yeah.
And at the time it was. Today, everybody cusses, bro. There ain't nothing to cussing. It's, you know what? Get in line with everybody else. Just be like everybody else. Go cuss. You know, drop the MFs, you know, all that stuff. Do your thing. However, if you can have a command of the language to the point where you can drive people to those emotions even without it, I think it's more impressive.
Yeah, I think what's really hitting right now, and I started to slowly tap in.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I say slowly is because just this week is NLP.
Yeah.
Neuro-linguistic programming.
Yeah.
That's way more.
That's Tony's whole thing.
That's way more dangerous.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In a good way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's way more like,
it's freaky too.
It's real.
It's freaky. What's funny? So like, because I like grew up with Tony's voice in the background, right? And all the stuff that my dad was listening to. My dad had like the old cassette tape sets and everything, right? I mean, we're talking back in the, my dad would put on little miniature conferences. My family owns martial arts schools, and we would go to like this black belt camp out in the mountains. And like, I'm at 12 years old, fire walking, right? I'm walking on hot coals with the adults, you know, doing the Tony stuff because my dad, you know, got all that stuff from him. And then, like I said, listening to my dad preach the same stuff that Tony was teaching, right? So it was, I like had some of those things naturally embedded where like I maybe couldn't even articulate that NLP stuff, but like and it made me great in sales where it was a negative because of that way. Because it's one thing to understand you're doing it from a sales presentation standpoint, especially if you're doing it one to many, like social media or to a big crowd. It's another thing to always be doing it one to one, because from an identity standpoint, then you feel like you're a chameleon all the time. And it's like, who am I? Right? I'm always adapting. I'm always matching and mirroring. I'm always using certain language to get certain outcomes out of people or whatever. And then that becomes part of your identity, is the way people react to you. It doesn't become like, I am who I am because this is who I am and it's a solid identity. Yeah. It's, I am who I am based on how this person's vibing with me or reacting.
Yeah, that's good.
It is.
That's
it
good,
is.
yeah.
But NLP is very effective. And when used properly with the right motives, it's a very powerful transformational tool to help people get out of their own way.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right, so more NLP, less swearing.
Yes.
I will work on it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. We're all a work in progress, bro. I mean, it's not like I've never said a swear word, right?
When's the last time you said one? I bet you didn't say one this year.
I don't know if I did or not. I don't think I did.
Let us play.
Listen to you, bro. It's and look, you know, it's funny too, because I do like sometimes feel like I was dealing with somebody the other day that I've known for a long time, but haven't seen in a while, and like the reaction they were towards me was like, I'm better than everybody else. Like I think that I'm better, and I never ever, like, it breaks me inside, bro, to be dealing with somebody that thinks that way. And that's something that, like you said, Myron, right? Myron talks about how people react the way they're gonna react, and you gotta let that. I
mean, I was going to say, bro, there's nothing wrong with being better than people. I'm just
That's the whole other approach.
I'm going to just keep it a buck. I mean, if I'm better than somebody, I'm better than somebody. It is what it is. I'm not going to doubt myself to make someone else feel good.
100%.
And sometimes that's basically when someone comes at you that way, they're projecting their stuff.
Correct.
But you know what? I'll accept it. Yes, I am better than you.
See, I wouldn't say that. I would say this. I would say.
What would you say?
Meaning internally, my internal talk would be, I have learned a better way and I'm trying to implement it, and it's working.
I would never say trying.
Okay, you're right. And I am implementing it.
Yeah.
And it's working. And I want to bring these people with me.
I would say something like, I am better than you. And if you want to come to the side and be better too, click the link below.
Click comment wife.
No, but for real, I would say that. I would be like, yo, listen, I mean, you know, I'm excited that you feel that way.
Yeah.
If you would like to come on the winning side and be better too.
Right.
Tap in.
Yeah. Well, this happens
And you
too.
don't gotta pay. You could do it for free. I would literally, being better than someone, you first have to be better than yourself.
Yeah.
Because you are constantly at odds with the
1000%.
previous version of who you are.
Oh gosh.
And the previous version of who you are literally is like a giant. Because the previous version of who you are has
I'm about to get a
5
hanky or
years,
something. I'll
10
start
years,
waving it.
15 years, 20 years,
Yeah.
30 years, maybe 40 years of you being away.
That's right.
And then the new version of you is a small, little, cute baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Infant. You know what I'm saying?
just-
That everyone wants to love
Yeah.
and stuff. Right? But it's small.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like I looked at a baby, like a baby boy today. Maybe he just learned to walk. I don't know. Maybe he's 2.
Yeah, toddler.
And a mom is with him, and he's just walking at the mall, whatever. Everyone's like, oh, he's cute, whatever. But you know, that is probably like a 6'4", 200 and some odd pounds, in shape, strong, loud presence, with a voice, commanding man that has impact.
Right.
But look how small he is.
Yeah.
So what does that boy need? He needs years of support.
Yep.
Discipline, accountability, community,
100%.
access to new information.
Yes.
Right? Access to a mentor.
Awareness.
Awareness.
Yep.
I.e. parents that actually love and want to direct.
Yep.
So it's the same thing when you want to be better, when you're trying to grow. There's no way that kid in a week can be that 6'4" or 5'9" or whatever. That's capable.
All of this.
But everyone thinks that they gotta fast. Fast. It's mathematically impossible.
All of this,
except for dogs. Dogs can do it faster than
at least 7 times
faster than everyone, bro. You can have a dog. It's like a little puppy.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, it's an old man.
That's right.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy, bro.
They do it 7 times faster than us.
I don't know
why
what's
they say
going
7
on.
years is a dog year.
Are dogs really? I think dogs are really the aliens. Because cats don't act that way. Dogs age like this.
So to your point about what you're saying.
That was a really good analogy.
It was. My mind's blown so much I don't even think I understand it. You're talking about this infant, right? That we're carrying around, which is the new version of ourselves that we need to nurture and help grow. And until you come to that awareness that that's what's going on, you're going to deal with the imposter syndrome part of it because you're still thinking you're that old person, right?
100%, yeah.
And so the people that are good parents see the vision of the future for their children, not their vision necessarily, but for the things that they need to have to be prepared for whatever it is that life's going to throw at them and what the Lord has as a plan for their life or whatever.
They got a plantation. The Lord has a plantation. No?
I don't know.
No?
I don't think I don't think that goes together. I think plantation has the word plant in it because you plant stuff on a plantation like cotton.
So wouldn't God have a plantation for the baby? He's planting seed. The parents are planting seeds
on the plantation
for the kid to.
Yeah, I think we would call it farming nowadays.
Is that stretch?
Is it live on a farm? You know,
I like plantation better though.
Plantation has the
It's way more fun.
I think you could still live on a plantation. Don't get me wrong.
You think I could still live on a plantation? That's crazy.
Stop. What I mean, I think we could both live on a plantation.
I know, because you're not white. Obviously, you'd be right there with me.
Oh no, I'm gonna live in the big house.
Probably. Where's Ryan at? Damn it, it's Friday. He's at the big house.
He's at the big house. So I think that one of my goals in life is to have a big piece of property with an estate, right? Like a nice big house and the cows over here and the crops.
So
over
that would
there.
be a farm?
I would say one person's plantation is another man's farm.
I guess my question is,
I think a plantation as the estate though. Cause you think of a farm and you think of poor people, barely making it, not always, I guess. The farming.
Farmtation? I like plantation way better, bro. I feel like if I purchase land in a rural area, right, and I'm gonna have animals and all this stuff, or maybe just acres. Mm-hmm. I'm saying I live on a plantation. I don't care what no one says. It sounds really dope to me. Yeah, where you stay at?
You know what?
You know,
I
on a
think that,
plantation.
you know what? I think that there's some like political ads or something over maybe the last decade or whatever. That's talking about they want to put you back on the plantation or something. Like I think I remember
That sounds
seeing something.
That sounds pretty.
And it being a negative thing.
Yeah.
And that's why like internally I kind of like I think there's something.
You don't want to put me on the plantation.
It's not you in particular. You know what I mean?
I mean, you kind of said it earlier, but okay. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Fancy me here. You have some land.
I do. I live on a
you
few
want to give
acres.
me the land, right? Right. And there's a judge or an estate attorney, whatever, and they're like, Ryan, you can gift Brendan this land. However, the one stipulation
has to be called the plantation.
It has to be called the plantation. Would you gift me the land?
100%.
But you got to say it.
100%. I'd be like, I give you the plantation.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Plantation, bro. You know what it is? Okay, this is the thing, right? A lot of it is language, right? Etymology, which is the study of words.
Etymology, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of that has also been like flipped. The swastika used to be for happiness.
Correct.
And they made it as a negative thing.
Correct.
Now.
Yeah.
So
it's like a symbol for good fortune or something like
that's
that.
That's what I'm saying. But it's not now. It's like, you got swastika. How come I can't take the swastika back and put it on me and it'd be like, this is happiness?
You go for that and let me know how it goes.
But I'm just saying, why can't I? Wasn't that the original?
Okay, so this is important
Symbolism.
because we were talking about cussing and controlling the language and lazy with language and good with language.
Yeah.
There is a tactic today. I would say it's more so on the left side of the political aisle here in America than it is on the right, but it has happened on both sides of the political aisle throughout history, right? Far right, far left, extreme, using language. So like a perfect example of this is the word gay. Well, gay means happy.
It does.
But now it means homosexual.
I can't say gay. Is gay derogatory?
Well, if you just go around telling people like, how you doing? It's like, I'm gay.
That would be a fire piece of content. I should wear a swastika and tell people I'm gay.
And go around doing man on the street videos like with a little microphone.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
You think, okay, fancy me this. If I'm a black person with a swastika on,
well,
right?
Okay.
And I'm going to interview people on the street.
Okay.
Are they having interviews with me?
I'll give you a perfect example why this no, they probably that's a good question.
Are they gonna stop and talk? And
maybe.
I'm acting like I don't know that it's there.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's say I got a shirt and a hat. And I'm like, how's your day today?
I think it's also depends on how you present it. So like if it's on like a red background with like a white circle around it, that's the Nazi, like literally the Nazi party symbology or whatever. So that would probably not go over well. But like if you had the swastika like just as like low key, you know what I mean? In some other context.
Were there black Nazis?
They might be confused by it.
Were there black Nazis?
Well, no. So like the whole idea.
I know the German.
No, but the whole idea of the Nazi like movement was behind what they call the Aryan race and the Aryan, which is funny because Hitler wasn't even Aryan, but was the white, blonde hair, blue eye, this superior race.
So it's like that would be like a Chappelle skit,
like a mess. Oh, absolutely.
Yo, that's crazy. Good idea.
Yeah. Listen, you saw it here first. So when he does this,
that's a good idea.
Okay, he's bound by, I don't know what he'd be bound by, but something to make sure that he puts this in the context. So
I'm just saying with the etymology thing, it's like words, like you said, words have been stolen, have been remixed,
correct,
and taken, and then meant to mean different things as a way to program.
Right. Well, like progressive. Like we have a whole movement in the United States, which is the progressive movement, which is a regressive movement. It is we literally live in a day where people have been able to take language and flip it on its head, and they just say it loud enough and long enough. That's and look, I'm not comparing the progressive movement to Hitler.
No, it's true.
But that is the propaganda process.
That's exposure.
Right. That's how powerful it is. That's
for real.
You could get a whole country of people to believe that like in that case, Jews are evil and they're not the Aryans, and all your problems are coming because these people have caused them or whatever, when that ain't true. Bro, it's so funny how like you watch some of these man on the street videos where they'll go and they'll ask people questions and they'll put a microphone in their face. And like, number one, they don't know the answers to any of the pertinent questions. So they're at a protest and they have no idea what the actual substantive, issues are. But
we don't like them niggers. We just here because, we don't like them.
Yeah, something like that. I haven't seen that one in a while. I don't think I was alive when they were saying that kind of stuff. Praise God. Yes.
Yo, okay. Do you see how Trump stole the Black Pride fist?
So first off, I don't think it's a Black Pride fist. I think it's I guess it's from the Olympics. The Olympics fist. Yeah.
But it was a black person.
But did he steal it, or is that just like throughout thousands of years of history, like a power movement?
I feel like he stole it. But I think he's just not taking it.
I don't think it was intentional.
He was like,
yeah, I don't think it was necessary.
You think he set that up?
No.
I think he set it up.
I don't think he set it up. Do you know why I don't think he set it up?
Why?
Because I understand like guns.
All right.
Ain't nobody from 150 yards away shooting me in the ear.
Well,
I ain't letting them do it.
This is how I feel like he set it up, in my opinion. And I heard some other theories today. I wasn't even searching for them. I just happened to hear them. But I feel like the podium was hella exposed, right? And
right, but that's all Secret Service stuff. That's not really him, right? That's organizers.
Yeah, no.
He just gets off a plane, shows up, and goes and talks.
100%. So it was open. He got his whole chesticle was open.
Chesticle.
Right, neck's exposed, his head, arms, shoulders, everything.
Yeah.
And this shooter, right, has all this time to shoot, and he nips him on the ear. Bam. Bro, they blasted JFK.
Let me ask him, how much experience do you have with firearms? How many have you shot guns?
I've shot guns a few times.
Have you done any like long range?
Nah,
rifle shooting?
actually, I'm happy you brought that up. Shout out to my guy Michael. He does street interviews in Miami. He put me on to this. I think I'm gonna do it. This like guns course.
Okay.
Yeah, to get more. Get your marksman on.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna do it. But so my knowledge of guns is very nominal.
So I don't want to. I'm not going to claim to be an expert in firearms. I know just enough to be dangerous to myself and others. But my father's an NRA instructor, ex-military, special forces in the military police investigator, all that. And he teaches gun courses and stuff like that.
In Brandon?
Yeah, right here, Fishhawk area. Yeah, he does it.
How long is the course?
I don't know. He does it periodically. He'll do them a couple times a year.
I need to come back to Brandon and learn from your dad.
From the man, yeah.
Do that.
But meaning, so I've been around guns enough to understand, like,
is there a gun in here?
I don't know.
Is there a gun in the car?
Is there a gun? I don't know. What? Maybe. See, I got two problems here. If I say yes, then maybe that makes you uncomfortable. If I say no, and my dad watches this, he'll be like, "Why aren't you carrying your sidearm, son?"
You said it make me feel uncomfortable?
Maybe, I don't know.
Nah, if it's a gun, I'll be like, how come I'm the only one that don't got one?
I would venture to say 95% of the times when anybody sees me, I usually am, carrying.
Packing?
Yeah. But
you was packing that off for mastery?
I see it as usually. I see it as a responsibility.
Doing your education and packing at the same time?
I see it as a responsibility.
Who are you
You never know, bro. You never know.
Who'd you strap for?
You get all those people, the crowds, that's like,
So, all right.
I don't like them crowds.
Fancy me this. We're in there. We're learning about offers.
Yeah.
We're learning about marketing.
Yep.
Russell Brunson pops on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, can I see your notes? Sure. Packing the whole time.
Yeah.
For what?
What do you mean for what?
For what? What could have happened?
Bro, it's a hotel. It's a public place. The 600-700 people there. Any of those people could have been psycho. So been watching Myron online, heard him say something that they didn't like or whatever, and then that got them all whacked out, you know what I mean? Or they show up, bro. Let me just tell you. All right.
That's a good one.
No, 100%, bro.
That's a good one.
It's funny that you say this. I was on the side, I was talking to Daniel Priestley.
You know why? It's because I need a family. That's why.
100%. It's my responsibility to protect my family, 100%. Right? And I have my wife with me too.
Yeah. Does she know how to shoot?
Yeah. So I'm having a conversation with Daniel Priestley on a different day. We're at a different event here still in Tampa. And we were talking about some of the people that were strange at Offer Mastery Live, right?
The recent one?
The recent one, right? Meaning like if you're standing and you're viewing a crowd, like I can point out the folks that are interesting, right? That we got to watch. But with that security mindset, he was talking about when your online presence and how it attracts some people that are out there that, you know, could be interesting. Yeah. And we were talking about that there's a colloquial, like an acronym called OCD. And for like every 10,000 followers you get, you'll have an odd person. That's the O. For every 100,000 people you'll have a crazy person. That's the C. But for every million followers or whatever, to overall social media presence, views, whatever, you have a dangerous person, OCD. So the question is, when you're assessing people, because they all look similar,
crazy, and
are
dangerous.
they odd, crazy, or dangerous?
Yeah, I got you.
And most people are just odd or crazy. Yeah. But I can tell you, I ran into several people at Offer Mastery Live, and there's only like, we're talking 600-700 people. That's not that many people in the grand scheme of things. But they are emotionally charged. They're going through transformation. They got identity stuff going on inside of them, whatever. So if at any time they're likely to be a little, you know, off in behavior, that's the time they're going to be a little off in behavior, do things they normally, like people will go to those things and like maybe they're introverted, but they'll act all extroverted that time while they're there, you know, whatever it is.
Supercharged.
They're supercharged. They're charged up. They're emotionally, you know, energized. And some people deal with that and it's like alcohol, right? Some people bit happy and they're buying drinks for everybody and everybody loves that guy. And then there's the guy that like, you know, has to fight now, you know, and you just got to figure out which ones are which when you go places or whatever. I don't even know how we got off on that.
I just want you to know that.
I talk about the Trump thing. Yeah.
I just want you to know that I feel very secure on this podcast.
No, I appreciate that.
You know, I feel like my life is in good hands.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll always be.
If one of these tripods gets crazy, I feel like you got me. You know what I'm saying?
Just get legs and start, you know. Listen, you never know, bro.
Who knows?
Be like Transformers.
Listen,
you know?
We
thought it was a camera.
A lighting fixture put me in the hospital last week. So,
what did I see you like with some crutches or something?
Yeah,
what was that?
That was real.
Really?
Well, yeah.
What happened?
I was in my studio, and I have like commercial lighting, so it's like a little heavier. And one of them has like canisters on it, which is, you know what a canister is? It's basically like a wheel. So you can move it around with a lock.
Okay,
so it can lock, whatever. So I was sitting in my chair where I was doing just working, and I jumped off, and the light was close to my foot.
And it attacked you.
It hit me right between my ankle and my Achilles in that little soft area.
Yeah, man.
Yo, it hurt so bad.
I bet.
And then an hour later, it started to get inflamed. I couldn't even walk, bro. It was bad. And the pain was just going up to my knee. Yeah. And I had to go to ER. Sure. It's terrible.
So we almost finished the Trump thing. The reason that I don't think the actual shooting itself was staged. I'm not saying that there wasn't some conspiracy to allow that to happen. I don't think Trump was part of it because they shot him in the ear. And literally, like, as you watch the footage, like, he turns his head. Like, if his head was still like this, like, it would have gone through his head. And then lights out. But because he turned his head, because he was looking at his screen right at like the right moment. I mean, we're talking divine intervention, bro. Caught his ear and obviously blooded up his ear. The range for just the ballistics for a 223 or a 5.56 round, which is what an AR shoots. Yeah. I mean, we're talking it even your best marksman, there's a range of where that bullet could go. You could have it like exactly, you know, on point, and you're still going to have a little bit of play. You know what I mean? So that amount of space is too close for comfort. You know, that's like from 150 yards away, especially, and he had no scope. He was using a red dot. You know what that is? So he's not magnified. He's literally shooting like through his sights. Yeah. At a blurry head is essentially what he's shooting at. And so like that one piece alone. Now, I don't have any footage that shows that guy actually firing
Somebody
shots.
said it might have been two other people.
Right. There's a theory about like a water tower. There's a theory about all kinds of stuff, man. But it's usually the simplest explanation is the right explanation, you know? And
I think he did it.
You think Trump did it? I don't think Trump was involved. I think there are people that want him gone for sure. Well, and I think those people, they set it up.
Nah, I feel like there's more people. Okay. I agree. Yes, there might be some people that want him gone, but I feel like that basically just just accelerated his popularity.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Made him
one
martyr.
of two things happen. You kill him, and now he's out of the way.
And now he's infamous.
Or you miss him, and it's way worse than not doing anything.
Yeah.
Because bro, that's a whole issue with the left's strategy to get Trump out anyways.
Yeah.
The fact that he was all but out of the picture for them 18 months ago, 24 months ago. I mean, yeah, he announced his campaign, but it was kind of like, But then they started coming after him with all these cases and stuff, bro, and put him in the news over and over and over again. And all it does is give him a platform. And then because he's a populist candidate, right? He's a candidate for the people. Which, I mean, he's a billionaire, so that to me is, whatever. But
he knows how to do it.
He knows how to do. What did we say? Exposure, right?
Exposure.
It's all about that exposure. Yep. And he obviously is an individual who has understood how to use exposure his whole career, his whole life. He's obviously been a master at using exposure, good, bad, or indifferent, to propel his business ventures and himself,
his fame.
Right? His fame, and use it for business. So, gosh, I lost my track of thought.
Trump steaks.
Trump steaks. Did you see Trump steaks? Trump University. You
remember that?
I do. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's
Trump
some craziness, bro.
Yeah.
You did some. Anyway, I was talking about the people that want him gone doing all of the things that have actually helped his campaign. Yeah, so all of these cases they brought against him, all this does is like the people, like the culture of the people that like Trump they're conspiracy minded. And like to nowadays, like the difference between a conspiracy and the truth is like 6 months, right? Like we're all like hearing something and then we find out 6 months later, oh crap, that was all true, right? Look at COVID. I mean, I don't care what you think about all of that. There was some craziness that went on with COVID with stuff that just doesn't make any sense. So you have the conspiracy theory people, you have the people that feel like they're not getting a fair shake. That goes across all colors, all ethnicities, right? Every group of people in this country, depending on where they are economically, has that feeling like, man, the government institutions haven't been working on my behalf. Yeah. So he's part of the 1%, but they perceive him as like a man of the people that aren't the 1%. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I'm just like you are.
But he doesn't say that. He says the opposite. He says, I should know. I've been using these tactics to help me all this time. I'm from the inside. I'm telling you what they're doing. You know what I mean? So he's doing it from that angle. And look, people are eating it up, and it's not about like whether or not he's a good candidate or whether or not he'll be a good president. The tactic of attacking the person who is the man of the people that think they're being attacked only makes the people that feel like they're being attacked align with him more.
Yeah, facts.
So they're only shooting themselves in the foot by including an assassination attempt. Now, I'm not claiming there was a conspiracy or not. Yeah, I know you are, but I'm saying it doesn't matter. That picture, bro, with the American flag in the background, bro.
That's Time magazine cover.
Bro, come on.
People got tattoos of that. There's art across America right there. Trying to tell you.
Oh man.
I would buy that t-shirt.
Yeah.
And wear it.
Yeah.
With my Nazi hat. Interviewing people in New York City.
That'd be so stupid, bro.
Yeah. That's exposure.
It is. You definitely get exposure.
That's viral.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. I feel like once you do that, I'm going to have to they're going to be coming do you condemn what Brendan Boyd did on the Man on the Street?
You'd be like, I didn't even say anything. All I said was I was going to do content and I was going to interview people. Yeah. I didn't say nothing crazy.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, you interpret his.
He was talking about guns on your podcast.
This symbol means good fortune. That's
exactly. Exactly. And if you look really close, the word good fortune is all inside of it. It's just in the shape.
Yeah, it's just in the shape.
Good fortune. Right? Good fortune. Good fortune. Good. Yeah. It's just in the shape.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, man, there's certain things out there.
This is great.
That
by the way.
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
It is great.
There's certain things that people are very touchy about, and I think a swastika is one of those things,
It's because it was stolen, bro.
Well, it was successfully stolen.
So it can't be stolen back?
I'm not saying, okay, so let's take there's another rabbit trail. Like Christmas and Easter are, pagan holidays, right? The background that goes in creating them, they're basically just somebody took some holy water and some Jesus sprinkles and said, okay, this is now a Christian holiday, when it wasn't, right? Those were originally, other religions' holidays, and even the practices among them. Now, that's not to say that the majority of people that obviously celebrate Christmas and Easter aren't celebrating it for the right reason.
What's the right reason?
Well, the people that are celebrating Easter are celebrating the resurrection of Jesus, right? The people that are celebrating Christmas are celebrating the birth of Jesus.
The birth, yeah.
But there are plenty of people that celebrate both those holidays that ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. They're like Easter baskets and Easter bunnies and Easter egg hunts.
I've been on an Easter egg hunt.
Oh, so have I, bro. Helicopter drop.
It was kind of lit.
Yeah, no doubt.
I got lost one time, but then another time I got a lot of eggs.
I got this one time. I think they had like the Easter bunny dressed up, and I think they got a picture of me as like a little kid, screaming and crying because I was afraid of the Easter bunny. Because some of them Easter bunnies, man, they don't look cool. They look like, the Easter bunny, the cheap suits that they wear. Yeah, they look freaky, man.
And they scare kids.
Yeah, even today I don't like it. And then over on the Christmas side, everybody celebrates Christmas. Atheists celebrate Christmas, right? Set up your Christmas tree, set up your pretty lights, give each other gifts. But none of that involves Jesus, right?
Nah. How come you gotta wait for a year to get a gift from somebody you love?
You don't. That's
what you do. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Look, you could say that about all like quote unquote manufactured holidays, like, Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or Father's Day. Like, why can't you give your mother a gift any time of the year?
You can.
Like you can, but then you feel obligated on Mother's Day.
You do.
And like, look, you want to, just like the swastika thing being like you previously used as good fortune, but then obviously Hitler and the Nazis really tarnished that symbol.
They turned it up.
They
turned it up. Yeah.
They own that. They got the copyright. Like, just like that, don't be the guy out there going against Mother's Day. Like, who wants to be saying Mother's Day is a manufactured holiday? I'm anti-Mother's Day.
That wouldn't be a bad thing if the narrative is like Mother's Day is every day.
Of course.
But you still get canned.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
what? We can't have a day?
It's a losing battle.
Why don't we have a year?
Well, that's like everybody arguing about Pride Month being a whole month. Like, wow, nobody else gets a month. Why do the Pride people get a month?
Yeah, they get multiple parades too. They be going crazy.
How
come there's not a straight month? What's the straight parade at?
There's a guy that I just saw. I saw this video the other day talking about there's a White History Month. It's a black guy.
Yeah.
That says that he started July as White History Month. And he says, this is our second inaugural year, whatever. I watched it. It had to be like a parody or something.
That's on YouTube too?
Yeah. No, I think it was like a Instagram reel or something like that. Real quick.
White History Month? That sounds lit.
I don't know. I saw it and I was like, man, I don't know. Like you said, what it does is it's just a hook to grab people's attention.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think some hooks will overshadow. Like one of the really cool hooks I like is like, how they have like the bull hitting that guy and then like somebody's like getting banged or whatever, like into like a car, like, hey, come down to our dealership and, check this out. Or somebody falling over or rolling. You know what I mean? And then like it clips to them rolling and they're like, hey, come to youth group. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I actually really like that. That's a creative way to hook because it's a viral video.
Yeah, you just remixing it.
And then you're remixing it and then you're rolling it into your own video, The other one is the trust fall. That's a new trend. You ever seen this?
I don't think I've seen it.
You know what a trust fall is?
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody doing the trust fall and then they turn away towards the camera and they let the person fall. And we're like, don't be trusting in man. Trust only in God.
Yeah. Okay, I think I've seen that.
Like,
that's a good one.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Hey, this is what happens when you go with Stripe. Go with Champion Payments,
You should do that.
You should totally do that.
You should.
We should. We're going to do that.
Yeah, you should do that.
You're
on the clock.
What?
You're on the clock.
I'm on the clock.
Yeah, you got to the end of the month.
Okay. Yeah. Today's, all right. I got to the end of the month.
Yeah, it's a week. You got a week.
Man, I'll tell you what. This is good stuff. So, I don't know. I think we should probably start working towards a wrap up,
Yeah, we'd be here all day.
We could totally.
100%.
Comment all day if you want us to do this again.
Yeah.
And do like a 24-hour marathon.
We could probably do that.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, we need. We'll get some food and bring in some guests or whatever. But it'd be cool.
That would be cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Do like we do it live too. You know,
that would be fire.
Marathon.
Yeah.
That would be good. You know, I think podcasting has been like this thing that for me personally provides me with an avenue to express myself. I really like it from that regard because when I feel like when I do other videos that I have to plan out or script and things like that, I'm not saying that the content isn't as good, but I feel like it's not as genuine because it's very curated. I'm doing a specific thing. And, you know, with social media being social, authenticity and that genuineness is a big benefit. Yeah. Right. And so I want people out there that own a business. I mean, if it's a restaurant, if it's, you know, an auto garage, if it's, you know, a AC repair business or whatever, all people that are my clients, right? What would I tell them? Like if I'm saying like, cause a lot of them are seeing the podcast, especially people that I know. Cause I'm at that stage right now where it's like a lot of people which is the most uncomfortable stage, I think. Whereas like a lot of people that I know are like, hey, I watched your podcast. And I'm like, that's odd. And I appreciate that because like that to me is like, man, like the people I actually know support me. Cause I think a lot of people are looking for the stranger support, you know? But I'm like, man, I've been getting a lot of like love, you know, whether they are being genuine or not, you know what I mean? It could be like, oh, like my mom loves it. Like shout out mom. You're probably getting to this point. Mom, thank you for watching. She calls me after like every episode comes out and tells me. I saw that one. She did. Yeah. And she's like, and she'll tell me. So like with David Shands, she didn't like David Shands.
She didn't?
Well, it was because David Shands criticized me on the podcast a little bit, put me in the hot seat, you know? Yeah. And it's funny. I texted David and I told him, I said, my mom doesn't like you.
Hilarious. That's funny. Mom, what do you think about me? I said a lot of kind of like edgy things, but I did on purpose.
Yeah. My mom's cool. She'll like you.
I'm for
you got to understand that like she puts me in that box of like perfect.
You're her son.
That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. So then like anybody, like she is savagely protective.
I mean, it makes sense. You're her baby bear.
That's right. Yeah. And I am the youngest. I am the baby.
There you go.
So it is one of those things where, you know, anyways, back to my clients that are seeing that. I think that my clients would be like they would be good podcast or video content for me, but like maybe one or two of them. Like I wonder how many times can you do that? Like almost like it's almost like an egregious testimonial. Like how many times are somebody going to watch and receive value from it? Because I think where my clients would do well is not just necessarily be on my podcast, but maybe starting podcasts of their own and stuff like that. Like is podcasting right for every business or is it only certain types of businesses? I mean, like what's the...
No, I think every business needs a media department, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you got to be able to control your narrative and be able to put out your own content assets.
Yeah, your message.
Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a podcast per se, but it could be consistent YouTube content.
Yeah. I like the podcast because of what I mentioned before.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's free flowing.
I feel like I get better content out of it. Because there's a lot, I mean, there's a deep well in here, like in the brain and the heart, bro. Yeah. There's a lot in there, but it's
flowing.
It's hard to bring it out when I'm like, okay, let's make a video about like because the YouTube strategies, right? You start doing how do I strategize the best way for me to get that exposure you're talking about? And one of those ways is like I was watching Omar El Takori and Sean Cannell, right? They're both YouTube gurus, right? And one of the strategies that they recommend is answer specific questions, the ASQ strategy. Because when you have a small channel like me, one of the shortcuts to getting in front of people is to find out what they're searching for and make videos about that.
100%.
Which I totally agree with.
Yeah.
But now I have to go find that topic and then I have to put together some content, a script, an outline, some bullet points or whatever about that.
And you feel like the podcast, you don't have to do none of that.
And it's not just not doing any of that. It's also like I don't know. I think there's value in both. I don't want to knock that other strategy. I think the strategy actually, like I'm not the YouTube guru. Clearly, just go look at my subscriber count. Right. But my point being that like I like the podcast methodology or process. I also for the connection, bro, not for nothing. Like I like people, and the people that I get to sit down with, we talk before, we talk after, you know what I mean? We have a good time. You know what I mean?
It's a cheat code for real.
Well, it's a good way to connect.
100%.
And it's beneficial for both of us, you know? And so anyway, your whole business is wrapped around podcasting.
It is. Yeah.
And which I think is so cool. Like almost like I'm a little low key, maybe, you know, that's another thing. You look out there into the world, you know what I mean? You're like, is what I'm doing cool enough? You know, like I think what I do is cool, but
It is cool.
But like, you know, at the same time, you're like, man, podcasting's so cool. I like podcasting. I'm doing podcasting, you know?
Yeah. Sure.
And all he does is talk about podcasting, do podcasts. It's like his job. He just podcast job, you know?
Popping. You know what I'm saying? That's why like sometimes people ask me, it's like, I like to find creative ways to just explain it. You know? They be like, oh, you got a podcast? I'm like, no, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I do have a podcast.
Yeah. What is the name of your podcast? You have a podcast with like an acronym in the name?
On the Pursuit. It's not an acronym. It just not have the vowels. There's no vowels.
So that, okay.
It stands for Pursuit.
Pursuit.
Yeah.
PRST.
Yeah. Pursuit of happiness.
Bro,
pursuit of your goals and dreams.
Thank you for clearing that up for me.
You got it.
Because I have seen that on your stuff. I can't tell you how many times, and I've always been like, what does that mean? I've been trying to like figure out PRST. Podcast, you know. Nothing.
Yeah, no. You're not the only one. So in the beginning, like if I was retitling it, even when I teach now, I teach clients to create pods, or when you look for a name, make it a name that can be searchable.
Right. Like mine could be like,
SEO.
you know, the payment processing podcast.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. Although I will say this, even success on repeat, I feel like narrows me down a little bit because like there's a lot of stuff that we talked about today, got nothing to do with none of that stuff, nothing. But it's topics that people are interested in.
Yeah, but you're also bringing on people that are successful. So
correct.
It's still relevant.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Well, and that's the point is I see success on repeat as a way to find successful people and glean from them. Because sometimes it's not what you actually learn from the bullet points of what somebody said. Sometimes it's like the nonverbal, stuff or even like the side note stuff. Like, man, there's a trend that all the people that like I've been following that are like successful, like they like Myron, you know, talk about Christmas and Easter being pagan. Like there's something to this, you know, or whatever. I mean, that's obviously a silly example, but or maybe it's not. Maybe there's something to, you know, people that think for themselves.
There is.
Because maybe that's a cue into thinking for yourself, right? Analyzing things.
Not subscribing and stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Challenging norms. That may be a piece of the recipe to success. And authenticity, genuineness, I know for sure, is a recipe for success. The reason that I know that is because if you're not being yourself and you're not beholding, and I think people have struggled with like labeling who am I? Right? An identity. I think even if like somebody were to come to me and be like, so Ryan, give me a sentence of who is Ryan Cabrera?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'd be like, man, that is, you know.
Well, that's what I said in the beginning.
That's exactly
what
right.
What you do is not your identity.
That's right.
But people just kind of like blend them.
They do.
They just assume like, yeah, I am a bowler, you know.
Yeah.
I mop and clean. And
well, for like a professional athlete or like a Olympic athlete, right?
But it's just what
they
you do.
are.
It's not you are.
Oh, bro, but who am I? Oh, I'm a gold medalist this, or I'm a world champion that. I mean, that's the way that people associate with that person.
Yeah.
And then that one thing also ties into a lot of the other things, like their endorsements and the reason that they're on the Wheaties box, the reason they have exposure.
But that's their brand. It's not who they
100%.
Yeah.
And that is another thing. People, like one of the strange things about putting out content is that you'll meet people that have consumed a lot of your content and they know like a lot about you. Like they've got like...
Yeah, this one dude did it. He was freaky. He was like, oh, so you're from Boston. And I see that you just moved to LA 5 years ago. Oh, you recently just moved to Miami. So...
Dang, yeah.
I was like...
So you're in Edgewater.
Exactly. So you're on this floor. Oh, so your bed's
your
in this
apartment
room.
number. Oh, yeah, that's yeah.
Oh, so you like to drink protein shakes in the morning. And on Tuesdays you go to this gym, and on Wednesdays you go to this gym.
Yeah, that's some weird stuff. You're right. Yeah.
It's you're like Black Mirror.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you have to figure out, you know, a way to deal with that too, because that's part of the gig. You're putting all this stuff out there.
Yeah.
And then there's, a certain amount of people. And even look, again, nobody's walking around going like, oh yeah, Ryan Cabrera, that's the YouTube guy. He's the YouTube guru. He's the podcast guy. Nobody's confusing.
Not yet.
Maybe my small little circle of influence, my people, would think that, but I'm what they call a big fish in a small pond, trying to figure out how to leap into the other pond, but I get it. There's a certain amount of it that I get, where it's like, man, did I say that? And look, I've been podcasting for 7 years now. You know what I mean? So I had a Bible podcast before this.
Yeah, I remember that one you told me.
And I would be talking to people and they would be like, oh yeah, I saw that. You talked about that on the podcast. And they'd say this thing, they'd quote me. And I'd be like, I said that?
You wouldn't even know?
I wouldn't even remember because it's like think about it.
All them episodes?
There's 6 years, at least once a week, sometimes twice a week.
That's a great thing about YouTube though, is because you can make something that's it's new to me.
Bro, it's 300 episodes.
It can be new to me.
That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot of that's like not for nothing. The one thing about that like I really do hold like something's as cool is that's the receipts on like Bible studies. Like anybody know how much Bible study? I got 300 hours of Bible study.
Minimum.
You can watch.
Minimum.
Not counting the stuff I did to prepare for that.
Yeah, 100%.
Or any of my leisure stuff or whatever. But that's 300 hours stuff. That's a lot. But there goes my pride, bro. See, did I learn anything from that?
I think so. You learn a lot.
You learn a lot. That's right.
Bible toting.
Yeah.
Gun.
Yeah.
Slinging.
But I would never associate my identity with like being a gun enthusiast.
Would you do a picture with the Bible and the gun?
I don't like that.
That's American.
No, see, I don't like that.
That's American.
I'm very pro Second Amendment, but I'm not like pro cultural Second Amendment. Like my family pictures aren't going to be like the whole family holding ARs. I ain't doing that.
That's American.
No.
It is though.
No, because we talked about American culture at the beginning of this, bro.
That's part of it.
And I appreciate that we've come full circle. That's great. But like
that's part of it though.
I love America. I love the idea of America. I love what the founding fathers did for us. I think, especially today, they get such a bad rap. And it's just like, you got some 20 to 35-year-olds that changed the whole world with the idea that all of us are created equal and endowed by our creator with inalienable rights, like life, right? What is it? Like you said it's in your name, pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yeah. And that our governments shouldn't be oppressing us or charging us taxes without representing us or providing us with a form of representation. Those are things to me that like, that's a basic fundamental thing that we today take for granted as if, that's how it's always been. It's like, hey bro, that's not how it's always been. So welcome to the good life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You are walking down the golden streets right now. Ain't no doubt about it. But we take it for granted and we look at these guys like, whatever, and I have a firm appreciation for the blessings that have been rained on me because I know I could have been born in some other country or
that's a fact,
or with different parents or whatever, and not been provided with the opportunities to have the knowledge and the awareness that I have today to be doing what I'm doing that I love,
That's a fact.
And so, it's blessed. I go from glory to glory all day long, every day, bro. Blessing to blessing.
That's how I feel. I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
I feel the exact same way.
Then that's the cheat code, bro. What it is awareness, though.
Yeah.
It really comes down to awareness because I've kind of felt that way for like a decade, So it's not like I was already like financially successful.
Yeah, it was
point.
there.
Yeah.
Like you said, you just had to get the awareness so you can see it, you can hear it, you can notice it, you
right.
can acknowledge it.
Right. Yeah. Right. So be grateful. That's the message I want. If I want you to get something from this podcast, bro, this is the Grateful Podcast.
It's a grateful podcast.
Grateful podcast.
I like it.
Success on repeat, because success is not just about finances. And in episode number 1, I do a 12-minute episode. It's a shorty where I explain what is success on repeat all about. I think everybody should go and watch episode 1.
I'm gonna watch.
You should go back. I'm going to watch it
and then I'm gonna report back.
It is important that people understand what is success.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah.
So I have it.
Yeah, it is important that people understand what is success and how there's categories in life that we look at, success, and everybody jumps to fame and fortune as the definition of success. At least we do here in the West. And yes, life is easier with fame and fortune. Well, at least with fortune, maybe not with fame. But if you have a bunch of money, but you don't have your health, or you have a bunch of money, you don't have your relationships, how much money would you spend to have your health and your relationships back? All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
And it wouldn't matter how much it was.
It wouldn't matter. You be Jeff Bezos.
Got it right here. The real definition of success.
That's exactly right.
And
so I think people should go and watch that. So you got any last words for the folks, man? You got any things? Any thoughts?
Last words for the folks. As I'm saving this episode. So last words for the folks, I would say, is check out that episode, The Real Definition of Success.
Yeah.
You can follow me on It's Brendan Boyd on all platforms. And whatever you want to do in your life, whatever you want to learn, whatever you want to become.
Yeah.
I would say start exhibiting those habits now. You don't need to have the plan figured out. You don't need to have the money figured out. You just need to have the intention, and then you can reconstruct what those habits are and start starting those habits daily or today, tomorrow. You can become that person, and then every brick is going to lead to another brick. And then, get an accountability partner or a digital mentor or a real mentor to support where you're going, and you're going to get there.
Yeah.
100%. That's
Praise
what I got.
God.
Yeah.
I agree. That was great.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys are blessed by this. I know that I've been. I really appreciate Brendan's friendship. We met, randomly at an event one time.
It wasn't random.
That. Dude.
You intentionally spent a bag, and I intentionally spent a bag. And we here.
Here we are. I paid money to make sure I met people like Brendan.
Yeah, I did too.
That's part of it.
This is a 100% transactional friendship. Not in the sense of the word, but we both paid to get in the space of other people that paid.
To get in the room.
And then,
and we met each other.
As a universe, God, the energy brought us together.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. It wasn't the universe or energy. It was definitely God. But,
I'm just trying to,
I'm
just kind of other people.
Let them know. Just tell them
all right,
the
guys,
truth.
it was God.
Okay,
all right. God put us together. God brought us here. And God's going to help you with your payment processing.
Thank you,
So
Lord.
you need to click that link below. Tap in with Champion Payment Processing right now and save yourself the hassle of having your money held up for 45 days or more, or being subject to 25% draws, or all this foolishness. Tap in with Champion Payment Processing.
Listen, everything that he said was correct. And before this gets out of hand, I'm going to let y'all go. I appreciate y'all. If you stuck in this long and you made it, go ahead and comment the end. All right? Comment the end.
I thought we was commenting wife.
If you want to marry him, or you think he's a prospect for marriage,
or you may know someone,
or you want to consider him for your daughter or your granddaughter,
or your mom's,
or your mom.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, if they're old enough to watch this,
or your aunt,
mom, that's true. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Or your aunt,
I like aunties.
Auntie, yeah. Gosh.
This episode is gonna do well.
I don't even know what to say. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bless you. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.